Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Niobe and today I will be showing you guys how I get my beautiful and glowy makeup base. If you ask me, this is pretty flawless and this didn't take too many steps. This is definitely a beginner friendly tutorial and it's just gonna have a few simple skincare tips and steps that I recommend you take before applying your makeup. Alright girlies, so the first thing I like to do is make sure my skin and my lips are hydrated. I'll be going in with the Cetaphil Moisturizing Lotion. I absolutely love this lotion because it's amazing for acne prone skin, which I severely have. And I like to mix in my sunscreen with my lotion. I love to use the Paula's Choice Extra Care Non-Greasy Sunscreen. This one right here has to be my favorite sunscreen at the moment. Definitely recommend it. I'll leave the details down below. One thing about me is that I will never skip skincare. You want to make sure you have a generous amount of your lotion as well as a decent amount of your Paula's Choice sunscreen or whichever sunscreen you are going with. Again, make sure it's not a sunscreen that's gonna leave a very drastic cast all over your face. I like to warm it up and mix them together in my hands and then pat it into my skin. I actually press it into my skin. I'm very intentional with how I place my products because at the end of the day, this is what's gonna keep my skin protected under all that makeup. Now I'm gonna go in with the Laneige lip mask. This is in the flavor Berry. I absolutely love this lip mask and it is an overnight lip mask, but I like to apply this beforehand so that it gives my lips some time to plump up and hydrate. I literally have this in every flavor. Okay, so the number one important thing before applying makeup will always be skin prep. Mind you, I just did a very mild skin prep. This is a beginner friendly skin prep. I just wanted to show you guys the difference in my skin. It's nice, it's plump, it's juicy, and it's protected. Now it's time to apply my foundation and I'll be applying it using a lightly damp sponge. I am using the Clinique Even Better foundation and this is in the shade Golden. Okay, so boom, we're just gonna hop right into it. I apply the foundation directly onto my skin. Then I'm gonna go in with my lightly damped sponge and just press that into my skin. Not too much pressure, just very intentional with where I'm pressing the makeup. Side note, can we just have a round of applause for the coverage? Wow. And because I moisturize my skin, that is what's making my foundation have something to grip onto, and it's giving this skin-like makeup effect, which is so vital if you want glowy makeup all summer. Now we're gonna go in and do our forehead with the same exact technique. What I love most about this makeup is that it just has this very soft satin-like finish, and the way it melts into my skin is just unbelievable. Do you guys see how beautiful that is? And look at that pretty shine that it has. This right here is some good foundation. I have been using this foundation for years now. I actually started off with their salicylic acid formula because it was treating my acne while also allowing me to be able to be a girl and put on makeup and not cause more harm than good. Ugh. Look at that glow. This looks so good. Catch that in every angle. When you're picking out your sunscreen, you want to make sure it's something that's not going to leave a cast on your face, because if your skin is warm like mine and you're applying a sunscreen that just leaves this white cast and kind of sucks the color out your skin, then it's gonna show that through your foundation as well, and you want to be glowing all year round. So next I'll be going in with Clinique's concealer. This is called the Even Better All Over Concealer, and I have it in 2 different shades because this is a natural concealer that's going to give me that lift, but I have been adding an even lighter concealer to the inner parts of my eyes to really exaggerate my eyes and make them the focal point. I am just a firm believer that your beauty shines through your eyes. So I like to make sure that my under eye area is lit up because I just love connecting with people through eyes. That's just like something I find very attractive, and I have very pretty eyes. So I like to put a good amount of concealer under my eyes. Then I like to move over to my lips and apply some right here, because when you apply a really pretty lip, you want your lips to pop. And I just add a touch on my chin just so that I'm not enlarging it. I'm gonna go in under my brows, which I will eventually blend and bring down onto my eyes. I don't like to apply too much on my forehead just because I don't want to, again, make my forehead like the focal point. Like, I already have a pretty largish forehead. The last thing I want to do is like enhance that. That's about how much I put on my forehead. And now, before I blend it out, I'm gonna go back in with the lighter concealer I mentioned earlier, and I'm just gonna add a touch of it on the inner corner of my eye, or right below my eye, I should say, just like that. Literally, it just does something for the look, in my opinion. You guys are gonna see. This is my base routine, so this is how you get your makeup to look the way I do my makeup. So yeah, so now using the other side of the sponge, we're gonna go ahead and lightly blend out all these areas. I make sure not to drag it all over my face. I'm very intentional with where I'm blending and where I'm placing it, because I mean, we applied it in certain areas because we're being intentional. Remember that word, intentional. You may want to look up for this part as well, just so that you don't add creases. Naturally, you will have creases under your eyes because you're human and you have skin and your skin folds. However, just to avoid extra creasing, just keep your eyes looking up while you blend it out, and from time to time you can look down to make sure you are on track. You guys see that? It's so beautiful and it's so natural. Like, yes.
You're gonna fall in love with natural makeup by the end of this video.
Ooh, look at that. Gorgeous. If you have been wanting to learn how to get beautiful, natural, glowing makeup, you came to the right place.
This is what I love about natural makeup. It's just so beautiful and subtle. You will always win with natural makeup.
So when you are blending out the concealer on your nose, you want to be very careful with how much you spread the concealer. Mind you, if you spread it out too far, you will have the appearance of having a wider nose, which is not a big deal. You can actually fix that just by how you contour your face. But just so that you stay in the habit of working with more intention, make sure that you have a bit of control when blending out your concealer. Now, when it comes to my forehead, guys, I don't go out too far because I want to make sure that my focus stays here. Like, I don't want to bring the focus up here because that's just gonna make me look like, girl, like, no, I'm not doing that to myself. I'm not gonna make myself look like I have a 5 head, so I don't want to blend it out too far. I keep it literally right above the brows, no further, maybe like halfway through the forehead, and that's it. And yeah, just want to make sure that you blend it out so that there isn't a sharp contrast between your highlighted areas and your contoured areas. Guys, this is actually my first time filming a makeup video like this, so if you love me talking about it as we go, leave a comment down below. So now we're gonna go with my One Size translucent powder. This is in the shade Ultra Pink. Don't mind the bronzer that got all over it. The bronzer just exploded in my bag, and this is what the One Size Ultra Pink product looks like. I like to shake it up before I use it just to break the powder up. Look at how pretty. Don't mind my nails, y'all. I have to go get them done. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with a small fluffy brush, and I'm gonna just lightly pat the product onto my brush and tap it because I don't want any extra product on my face. When it comes to setting my makeup, I don't overdo it because I just don't, okay? I may layer it maybe twice. You're gonna see how I apply my powder, and it's not much at all.
I I honestly feel like when you have a really good product that does the job, you don't need to overdo it and pile it on.
It's barely noticeable. I don't do too much when it comes to setting powders. And I'm gonna do that all over the areas that I concealed, except for my nose.
So I'm gonna speed this part up because it can be a bit tedious, and I like to really dig in there and press the powder into the places that are super oily.
I have very oily skin. I am going to apply my powder on my brows. I like to do this because I tend to sweat in my brow area. And when I don't apply powder in my brows, that sweat will pick up on camera and I'll just have like these shiny eyebrows in my photo. You would have thought I highlighted my eyebrows. That's how sweaty they get. So what the powder does, it just literally mats out your eyebrows so that when it's time to go in and do eyebrows, it's not something we need to worry about. I literally like to just brush through the brows and apply the powder. Later I can go back in and brush my brows, but for now I just want them to settle in this. We are gonna dust everything off in a few minutes, but while it sets, I'm gonna go in and start bronzing my face. Meet the bronzer that exploded in my makeup bag. This is the Benefit Hoola Toasted Matte Bronzer. Absolutely love it. My favorite bronzer at the moment. And I'll be using this brush, this fluffy brush that I actually got from RMS Beauty in a PR box. I'm gonna just go in and lightly tap the bronzer onto my brush on one side. So now I'm just gonna go in and lightly tap my brush along my forehead, just so we can get that sun-kissed, just got back from Jamaica kind of glow. You see how it's already picking up? That's why I love this bronzer, and I really like it because I have acne prone skin and this bronzer has not broken out my skin. So kudos to Benefit Cosmetics.
Okay, so I have this slight obsession with bronzing. That is my confession of the day. There's something about bronzing that's just so romantic.
While I'm here, I'm actually gonna use the same bronzer and apply it to this nice pointy brush, and I'm going to contour my nose.
All right, babe, so I often hear a lot of women saying that they struggle with contouring their nose. So if that is the case, leave a comment down below so that I can make a separate video devoted to the nose contour.
So now let's go back and blend everything. I'm literally gonna just use the same sponge I've been using. I just find that all the pigment that it has picked up will help in the blending process, especially when it comes to my bronzer.
Okay, so blending takes a while, so I'm just gonna go ahead and speed everything up.
Look at how pretty, it's like a sunset.
Make sure you're taking your time when blending out your contours because that makes a huge difference in your makeup.
Now that we have blended everything out, it's time to just sweep off all the excess powder that we left on our highlighted areas.
Brushes do matter in this part, so make sure you use a big and fluffy brush. Trust me, it makes a difference.
In the final part of creating your base makeup, you want to make sure that you seal everything with a really bomb setting spray. And I am currently obsessed with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush finishing spray. This is what the bottle looks like. I like to shake it up before I use it and spritz my face at least 3 times.
By the way, this stuff smells so good. And my makeup always stays in place when I use the Charlotte Tilbury spray.
Voila, you have your glowy, sun-kissed, hydrated makeup base. For the sake of this video, I'm just gonna go in and add a little gloss to my lips, just so that we can give off a finished look. I am gonna go ahead and brush my brows up as well, just so that you guys can get a good idea of where you can take your makeup when you have a really bomb makeup base. The possibilities are literally endless. Sun is finally coming out. This is the glow that it's giving. This is so bomb. You can literally take this look anywhere. Make sure you subscribe and comment down below if you have any motherfucker. I'm trying to do my outro. Make sure you guys comment down below if you have any questions or any requests as far as my next makeup video. Bye.